A leading voice in reforming Ohio's prison system is not only a child sex predator, he kept many of the details of his disturbing crimes a secret.
Yeah, tonight, a Local 12 exclusive. Dwayne Pullman reveals how James Kronenberger's push for giving inmates a second chance flies in the face of his own criminal history, where he was placed on probation more than once, but continued to prey upon children.
The time for reform in Ohio is now.
Fair treatment reform and reentry is a small group with a big voice.
No justice, no peace.
Often using children of inmates.
Who do we want justice for? Here.
Pleading for prison and parole reform.
Who do we want justice for? John.
The founder of the group is this man, James Kronenberger. Over the past few years, Kronenberger's been pictured with lots of powerful politicians and leaders, from the mayor of Columbus to state lawmakers, even the head of Ohio's prison system. He lobbies them all to get inmates early parole, or as he and his group call it, a second chance. He's even convinced lawmakers to draft a bill to do just that. It's something he claims he never got.
I was incarcerated for 25 years. So I know the system. It wasn't as bad as it is today.
The whole purpose of your group is second chance, right?
Right.
The group's president, Jeanna Mikulus, echoed Kronenberger's words, with one qualification.
What if they blow the second chance?
Lock him up for life.
While Kronenberger talks a lot about being in prison, he seldom talks about the crimes that sent him there.
I know a little bit about it.
In a click, I found Kronenberger on the Ohio Attorney General's website, listed as a registered sexual predator, the most serious kind of sex offender. And the victims are juveniles, children. That was a surprise to the group's president.
You didn't know there were children?
No.
You didn't know it was sexual offenses? You didn't
But
know?
it was no surprise to Kronenberger.
You are a sexual predator
Right,
with a child spec.
right.
The details of his crimes are much harder to get. They're in these court documents I obtained, describing details of cases where Kronenberger pleaded guilty to disturbing crimes, cases he now admits he kept secret, even from members of his own group. In 1987, Kronenberger, who was an auxiliary policeman at the time, pleaded guilty to 5 counts of child enticement. Police reports state Kronenberger admitted he exposed himself to young children, both male and female, approximately 25 times. The victims were as young as 8, 7, and 6 years old. Kronenberger did get a second chance, probation. But in 1993, he was sent to prison for 2 counts of attempted kidnapping with the purpose of engaging in sexual activity. The victims were 7 and 10 years old. That was followed by yet another second chance, probation again. In 2003, he violated that probation and was convicted of 2 counts of harassing children over the phone. One victim was a 5-year-old boy. In Kronenberger's case, second chances created more victims.
How can you possibly talk about a second chance when, personally, you were given a second and third chance and you blew it each time?
Right.
How can you push for that today?
Because people can change.
Kronenberger claims he's a recovering sexual addict.
And if you're an addict to that sexual predilection, you don't get over that either,
Right.
if you're being honest.
Right.
You agree?
Yeah, I just don't dwell on it or anything and take
You
it.
still have those thoughts that
I
come
never
through.
thought of it, but probably I do.
Yet Kronenberger continues to be surrounded by young children, and he admits he never told their parents, nor members of his own group, about what he really did.
Nobody asked. I tell people I was in prison.
Why wouldn't you tell everyone if you're nothing to hide?
I don't know. I just never thought of it.
Now, Fair Treatment Reform and Reentry's president has plenty to think about after I uncovered the real record of her group's founder.
I am very shocked. Like I said, as far as I knew about the kidnapping, but I didn't know the extent of it. It kind of damages the whole entire mission and cause that we have.
You're going to get rid of him?
We have to.
But Kronenberger was not removed. Members of his group tell me they met and decided to keep him but drastically limit his role. Tomorrow, I go one-on-one with the state representative from Mount Lookout, who not only met with Kronenberger, but admits Kronenberger and his group actually helped him draft his prison reform bill, which leads to a big question. Is anyone at the Statehouse checking backgrounds? I'm Dwayne Pullman. I'll see you back here on Local 12 News tomorrow at 6.
And if you want to see Dwayne's full interview with James Kronenberger, you can go to local12.com and click on Local 12 Investigates. You can also read all those criminal records that we uncovered.
All right.